Mike Babcock? Yeah, we got to talk about him.
Is he gone?
All right, Danielle.
That's a tough way to start.
A year later,
Yeah,
we're talking the same things.
all over again.
About last night, Leafs-Bruins, Game 7. I thought, Danielle, this was going to be different for one simple reason.
Tell me.
Austin Matthews' suit yesterday pregame. That
Yeah.
was the vitriol of the internet because y'all don't know fashion.
I was gonna say, it's hockey, but fashion. And I like it. Why do people not like this? I think it looks so fresh and different.
People don't like a little race stripe on the side, you know, and I'm doing it. I'm honoring my boy Austin Matthews today with the gray, not the blue. I don't have the Gucci loafers, but I got the stripe on the pants, I got the polo, and I got the blazer, which means I'm gonna lose Game 7 today.
The budget doesn't cover the Gucci loafers?
No,
I'll have to look into that
Still
for
in
you.
the works to get that done. Also,
Do we not dig the two? Because that's the biggest issue. Is that what I didn't think it was the
was
racing
it cold
stripe.
in Boston?
It's hockey. I
don't
get
know.
it.
We'll ignore Jake Gardner.
Yeah.
I
a little
also want to
sloppy.
point out William Nylander. Just
So
a
fresh.
classic look. A classic look. And I'm sure people would just rip him because he's William Nylander wearing clothes. And so
It doesn't take much at this point, but I like it. I think they need to bring something fresh to the table. It doesn't always need to be the old standard suit. Why can't they show their personality? Don't we want that?
all right, let's get towards the game now. In the build-up, Grandma Doobie again sending conspicuous name now that I'm saying it out loud, Twitter name, but sending her love for the Leafs. And look at this. Grandson Kyle dropping a little heart pregame. I thought things were gonna be so different. Everybody seems so chill. Here's my guy Bieber again, okay?
Yeah.
Pregame, and we do have to talk about him eventually. We will.
We'll get
Dear
back.
Lord, please be with Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and all of the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight as they play Game 7. You know what? The Lord listened, I think.
Wow, straight from the heavens.
The tweet of God, he of the 5.1 million followers. The Leafs will win guaranteed. Went to look for the tweet today, deleted.
Gone.
God, we've got receipts. We've got receipts.
You leave a paper trail on the internet, okay, God? You can't just throw those fire tweets out there and expect us not to find them.
All right, so God was cheering for the Leafs. The GOAT, though, cheering for the Bruins. This is Zdeno Chara Instagram post from the day of
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, hashtag mate for this, go Bruins. With Brad Marchand, let's bleep and go. TB12 on the wagon. We rolling now. First of all, I don't think Tom Brady's a bandwagon Boston fan.
No.
He is as Boston as you can get.
For sure. But are we not so tired of Boston and winning? Like, I don't even want to think about the fact that they could maybe sweep all of the professional trophies this year
Oh, gosh.
if the Bruins can go deep.
I need a moment. This felt conspicuous to me. Elon Musk, before the game, Tesla is going to develop a quiet electric leaf blower. Hey, Elon, the Bruins are not quiet.
No.
I didn't like it. I felt like, again, fate was starting to shift towards the Bruins after my belief in the Leafs was so strong pregame. And then Elliot Friedman reminded everybody about the song and the tease, Give Me Shelter Forever,
Yes.
which is how Leaf fans feel this morning. Because the same thing that happened twice in the last 7 years happened again. The Leafs lost Game 7 in round 1.
How many times
The
can
Boston
we be
Bruins.
beaten down? I came in this morning and the first thing I said to Faisal is how I truly believed it would be different. And how many more times are now we're just going to get used to it. We can't believe anymore.
This is how I knew things were not going to be different. This is Travis Dermott's face pregame. My guy shook us.
He does not look
does look
concentrating. He
confident,
looks
right?
terrified. Like he might be
The
having a moment there.
Raptors were playing at the same time, and I thought again maybe the energy was shifting. Nick Nurse, the Raptors were blowing out the Magic. Nick
Huge.
Nurse
Didn't
asked
even
for
need
the
to turn
Leaf
the
game to be
channel.
put on the big screen out of the timeout. Like I know he was joking, but it was that kind of night where even at the Raptors game or at the Blue Jays game, the focus had to have been on the Leafs because the other two teams were controlling their business pretty comfortably.
Literally, Nick Nurse could have just sat back and watched because they had it so under control that maybe he could have given a quick text to his buddy Babcock.
Drake was at the Raptors game. The Leafs had to win, right? Like, he was not in the building in the vicinity of the Leafs. He was there.
Why does the curse not work with the Raptors?
I don't know, man.
Because, like, the curse is for everyone but the Raptors.
He's employed by them, right? So
That
it's a
must be
little
why.
bit different. Again, things kept going in the Raptors' favor.
Yeah, I like
67
this.
points in the first half and 0 to their hockey brethren. 67 the last year the Leafs won the cup.
I saw that tweet and immediately retweeted it as the best omen yet. There has to be a positive vibe coming off of that note, but no.
Anyways, a couple minutes after I saw Drake on the screen at the Raptors game, the Bruins scored. Joakim Nordstrom, and this was weak. This
was terrible.
For as good as Freddie Anderson had played in the build-up to Game 7.
How did that get through?
Ay.
There is the tiniest space for that to get through, but that was just a little microcosm of what to expect for the rest of this game, right?
Well, it didn't take long until this happened. Jake Gardiner, in what might be one of his final moments as a Maple Leaf unrestricted, turns the puck over to Marcus Johansson, who scored twice against the Leafs as a Washington Capital 2 years ago in Game 6 to eliminate them. It was all of Gardner's demons coming together.
-10
against Boston.
in Game 7.
Marcus Johansson, goal, 2-0.
-10.
Honestly, he had all of Leaf Nation feeling exactly like he felt on the bench, like, what the hell just happened?
I actually feel super bad for Jake.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think we need to put into context, too, that he is very injured. He's got something serious wrong with his back and might require surgery.
He's also good.
And he's good. I don't know. Remember when he was gone with the injury?
We missed Jake Gardiner.
Where's Jake?
We missed Jake Gardiner. There's no way he was healthy, and maybe Dermott wasn't either. Both of them were injured. And
I think everyone was injured based on what I saw.
You still have to play them, and they didn't play overly great.
No.
Tom Brady, again, in the mood.
I don't even want to see that. Flip it. I don't care about Tom Brady or Boston.
He might have been stressed a little bit after that because John Tavares then scored in the second, put the Leafs on the board. What I liked about him was this reaction. Look at him. He's like, all right, let's go, guys.
We got this.
Come on, let's go. We're getting back into this game. I signed for $11 million. I know I'm going to be mocked because of my pajama picture that I posted when I signed with the Leafs. By the way, we'll get to that.
Oh, I already know.
And I thought maybe, just maybe, things were going to change. They didn't.
No.
End of the second period, though.
Yes.
Brad Marchand starts a scrum and then is not allowed in it because the ref's like, nah, listen.
We're not having
I know
this
you,
nonsense.
Bradley. This is like a parent telling their
Go
child.
back to your room.
Yes, Bradley, back to your room.
Yeah.
No.
We're turning this car around if you start any more nonsense.
Also, there's John Tavares on the ground, the victim of a sucker punch by Zdeno Chara that didn't get called and
barely got noticed except for by the Twitterverse, who was all over it.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
Saw
We're
it.
not going to talk about it.
I see you, Zdeno.
If you thought the Leafs were going to come up fired up in the third, ready to go tie this game, they didn't.
No.
Sean Corelli steals the puck off John Tavares. Ron Hainsey decides, I'm going to try to get it. He doesn't. Shot, goal.
Sorry.
Basically serious.
I don't want to cut you off. It was Nordstrom, Johansson,
Sean Corelli.
Yeah. Where they scored for the Bruins, right?
It's the fourth line.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
That's a nice shot.
Sure, I guess.
Freddie should have had it. And so, Danielle, this has been one of the weirdest playoffs of all time, right?
Actually.
Top teams gone all over the place. Maybe, just maybe, this was a time where the Leafs could win, but of course, despite everything that didn't make sense, the only thing that did was the Bruins beating the Leafs again.
So why did we even set anything up? We should have known this outcome. All this other craziness, it was like, oh, well, then for sure the Leafs have a chance.
This is actually hilarious. We taped this before Game 7 because we knew what was going to happen. So cue the vitriol, cue the outrage. And
it was a terrifying place to be, eh?
Baby. Sydney Sixero. Mike Babcock just coached his final game behind Toronto's bench. Can we go full for a second? Can we get off the screen for a second? We got to talk about this because that was a topic of conversation on Twitter. Well, before the game ended because of Matthews' ice time, how much Marleau played, how much the fourth line played, the continued reliance on defensemen that were clearly struggling. Oh, Danielle, we're going to have to get into some Babcock drama this offseason, aren't we?
I feel like I immediately thought back to the Raptors and what Masai Ujiri did because Dwayne Casey just wasn't making the adjustments necessary to get out of this pattern. Yes, he was NBA Coach of the Year. We did not forget that. We did not forget how good of a coach and is good of a coach Mike Babcock.
All I'm saying is he took over a team that was last in the league. They've had a couple back-to-back 100-point seasons. I know the rationale the morning after is to be mad, but let's calm down. Let's take our breath. And let Sid Sixero explain on Tim and Sid what the proper reaction should be. Because I know he's going to be rational. No. A lot of blame going around, so people want to blame Babcock. Line usage, unwillingness to change. Kadri, of course, his suspension. Killing the depth. Ultimately, number 3 is where a lot of Leaf fans are finding themselves this morning. Yeah, letting yourself believe this year would be different. And I believe you, too, because we stood here after Game 1 and said, hey, this year is going to be different.
We obviously are terrible at our jobs.
It's not different. How about the post, Mitch Marner? Yeah, it's the same bleeping feeling as last year.
I kind of appreciate it, blunt and to the point, because what else is he supposed to say?
Yeah, that was a swear word I crossed out.
That was nice of you.
He was swearing.
It was an innocent swear word.
Not the only swear word.
But
this one was almost a little more. People were obviously asking about Jake Gardiner, second straight Game 7 where he struggled. Morgan Riley said, nobody cares what anyone says. He's a bleeping really good player. We want him back next year, so that's that. It's going to be tough with the cap.
Defending their
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah, look, Gardiner and Riley have been around this forever. They've seen this happen now 3 times, right?
Like Gardiner, unfortunately, has been on the ice all 3 times. One of only 2 players. The other was up in the press box watching Kadri, just in case you missed how that ended.
Brad Marchand, expert troll, didn't have anybody holding him back in the locker room, walking through the Bruins room, putting his hand to his ear. How quiet's Toronto right now? Hey, Brad! The Jays won. The Raptors won. They were pretty loud in Toronto last night.
He doesn't care.
Not as loud as if the Leafs won, obviously, but there was still some noise to be
He
made.
could care less. He's so glad they beat Toronto. I can only imagine what was actually said behind closed doors in that locker room after they won.
There was no noise coming from Justin Bieber, who, again, we go back to his Instagram post 3 hours before the game. David Pastrnak immediately after with the tweet and the Instagram. Not today, Justin. Not today.
He could have been more creative. Like, is it too late now to say sorry, Justin?
Boy.
Or like,
that's good.
Right?
That's
like, I don't know.
good.
You could have used something with
That
a little
is
more.
good. Hey, you gonna go to your
flex.
journals, Justin? You know,
Yeah.
that underrated Justin Bieber album, by the way. Journals. Nobody talks about that enough, but
Definitely no one does. That
Yeah.
went right over my head.
another day.
Okay.
Here we go. Not a great job with the Jordan face, but the Jordan face nonetheless on.
When you
Johnny
hit
T.
Jordan face meme level, it's over.
Well,
it's over.
Look, you post a picture of yourself in pajamas, you're gonna get this backlash.
He was a kid. It's the best picture ever, and now it's destroyed for life.
From your friend and I, Pete Blackburn, Toronto Maple Leafs, John Tavares.
I don't want to talk about
good
Pete
night.
at all.
Sleep tight.
No, thank you.
Bruins
Pete's been
fan.
super annoying. Pete, I hope you watch this and know that you've been extremely annoying throughout.
Drake Curse, 416 and Heartbreaks.
Yeah.
Can't really see it, but you know.
No, I know it.
It's a
I
Drake
know it.
reference. And
Obviously,
maybe Drake is still to blame for all of this.
We got to get him in every single episode from now until forever.
You know, the year was supposed to be different. You know, they got rid of notable guys like Roman Polak, Martin, Leo Komarov, Tyler Bozak, all of whom are in the second round of the NHL playoffs, and the Leafs are not.
Do you think the Islanders fans are the happiest people besides Bruins fans?
You want to see what the Islanders TV networks are tweeting?
Oh, yes. Look at
Maple Leafs have
that.
been that's a shame, right? Jerry Steinfeld just casually, nice little shirt there. The
Shame.
Islanders crest on his blue dress shirt. I don't know what he's eating.
Popcorn? Gum?
Talk about that haircut.
So great.
Still a good show. I won't
Can
watch
really
it. I
rock
won't
that
watch it
mullet.
for a week. All right. Well, here's some positive news, okay, from scientist Jonah Berkleman. Look at the bright side.
Do you
7.6
follow
billion
this person?
I don't. When the sun turns into a red giant and engulfs the earth, the Leafs won't have to play Boston in the first round. I'm counting down. I got my timer set for 7.6 billion years from now when this won't happen again.
Yeah, we all gone by then, so who cares? Also, is this like black hole related? Like, are we just gonna get sucked into the black hole of Game 7 misery?
It feels like that's all we've been doing right now.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Toronto fans, it's time to switch allegiances right now, okay?
Okay.
You don't have to stop cheering for Toronto sports teams.
know
Others
where
are
we're
doing
going.
things right now. Others are doing things. Bam!
Oh, what up,
Bam.
Raptors?
Bam!
Winning team, off to the second round, no big deal.
And it's like I've been saying for the rest of my life. Anyways, Toronto's a basketball city anyways, so hop on the Raptors bandwagon.
It's not hard to cheer for them.
They're a winning team.
Kawhi's the best.
This was, sadly, again, following a Leafs loss in Game 7 to the Boston Bruins, from Danielle and I about last night.
You're welcome, other Canadians.